Hello and welcome to the KB Michelle Green podcast. That's KB Michelle Green everywhere. Social media, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, we are there. Threads, the X, which used to be Twitter, by the way. But welcome to the KB Michelle Green podcast, where we talk about a little bit of everything. Thank you for listening. We have been talking about the fact that my mom passed last year in September, and I wanted to just share my heart with you guys today about the trip that I took on yesterday to go visit my mom's gravesite and just talk to you all about some things that were in my heart. So yesterday I went to visit my mom's grave, and I asked myself, I used to come and visit her about once a month because she's about 3 hours away, and now I'm visiting her grave, but I feel like I want to be there more often than I was there when she was alive. Not necessarily saying that I didn't want to come before, but it just feels such like a sense of urgency for me to get down there or up there more often than I had before. It's almost as if I've been missing something, and of course I have been missing her because she's not with us anymore. However, when she was living versus now, and I know she's not here on this earth anymore in bodily form, it's like, oh my God, I just got to get to her gravesite. I just have to get there. So my routine is normally, if you've been listening to the episodes, I will go ahead and share this again. I normally have a routine of going down maybe every three to 4 weeks, and I visit her gravesite, which she is buried at the church that she was a member of for umpteen years, pretty much all of her life. I grew up in that church, and basically her body lies in the cemetery of the church. And I visit her gravesite, I visit her home. I actually inherited her home, and so I am in the process of trying to clean out everything. I guess you could say, well, probably not everything will ever be cleaned out, but just kind of get some organization to it a little bit better, and take some things out that have been needing to go out for a long time. My mom kept a lot of things, and then I visit my grandmother, who will be coming up 99 this month. So, and any other family members that may be at the house, at her house, after I have made the trip to the gravesite and to my mom's house and stay for as long as I want to stay, and then just go visit the other family members on the property or that may be there that day or that weekend or whatever. But I just wanted to share with you guys, every time I go down, I feel like, is this something that I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life? Is this something that I really will still feel the same way in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, in 10 years, in 15, 20, 30, 40 years? Will it be to a point where one day I won't be able to come because I can't drive? One day will I not be able to come because, I can't get around the way that I used to? Well, I've been thinking a lot about my mom and her process of getting older. She was 73 when she passed away in September. And I've been thinking about things about aging from the point of, let's say, 50 to 60 years old and older. Why is it that we haven't really planned much about our lives in the remaining half of our life? If God promised us 120 years, then why are we giving up on life around 60 years old? Why are we deciding that we have to be crippled, or that we have to be poor, or that we have to be people who don't have the ability to think for ourselves and make decisions like we made when we were on our way to our 20s or 30s, 40s? Why is it that we kind of don't have a desire for what it takes, or what is most meaningful in the 60 to 120 years old? Most of us don't even plan life for that age. And I was just thinking, like, I want to be able to come and visit my mom's grave as often as I like, from the age that I am now to the age that I take my last breath. I want to be able to still come and visit, but I noticed that there are so many changes, even just for now, in the time span that is in between my last visit. How the weather changes, how the area, the grass changes colors, and the ground kind of shifts and settles, and how the plants and the birds, the insects and different things, the trees, how everything just shifts in its own season. And I know it hasn't been a year since my mom passed yet, but I'm noticing so much that changes because we miss so many things by not smelling the roses, by not being present in the moment, by just taking that 3-week time span that I've taken to come back to visit my mom's gravesite instead of being there every day. Do we really understand how much it is that we are missing? Do we really understand what it's going to take in order for us to live to 120 years old, or somewhere in the vicinity of 60 to 120 years old? If the only thing that we get out of life is 60 years, or maybe a little later, then have we truly lived? Have we really lived life to the best of our ability? Who was it that told us that we had to retire and sit on the front porch rocking back and forth and watching everybody out of the window? Who told us that the only thing that we had to look forward to from ages 50 and 60 and all the way to 120? Who told us that the only thing that we would look forward to is aches and pains and having issues in our bodies that would not be healthy? Things that would not bring about vibrant life, things that would not bring about being able to go places and do the things that we really want to do, with who we want to do it with and when we want to do it. Who told us that it was okay for us to just deteriorate and die? I just want to present to you. I want to present to you that this is a lie. I want to present to you that this is not the truth. And if you have any kind of faith in any higher power, if you believe in Jesus Christ, and even if you don't, you gotta know deep down in your soul that there is something more to life than just giving up. I was just sitting there. Not sitting, but I was standing at my mom's gravesite, and I was standing there and I was just thinking all of these thoughts. And I was thinking to myself, like, I really got to get a grip on myself. I really got to get a grip on myself and realize, like, okay, these are the things that have been transferred over to me now. And with that fact at hand, with that truth at hand, what is it that I'm going to do with what I have in my hands? What is it that I am going to do with the responsibilities that are now on my shoulders? As I began to go to my mom's house, and I was looking at all of the land and this open, beautiful open grass space because it used to be land that used to be farmland, that my grandparents had, like corn and beans and different things out in the field. And it's open land and it's beautiful grass, vibrant green grass around the house. And it's kind of like a leveled off land, so you can kind of see it as you're driving up the road. And I was just thinking, like, all of the things that can come from just a shift in our minds to believe in things from 60 to age 120. A decision to live and not die, a decision that there is more to life than just getting married, having children, buying a house, buying a couple of cars, working in a profession that you either love or hate. And regardless of all of that, there's more to life than just making money, than just being wealthy, than just having a 6 or 7 figure or 8 figure income. It's more to life than, stretching yourself thin, killing your body by not taking care of it. It's more to life than that. And life beyond 50 does not have to be what the world has created it to be. Life beyond 50, 60 years old can be so much more than what we have thought of it to be. I don't really think that we've even thought of it. I think that we're so much into life is over after 50, after 60 years old especially. It's just downhill from there. We don't even decide that we want to make changes. I was thinking about, if my mom were still alive, how she would still be holding on to making changes in her life, because that was one of the things that I loved about her. She always had the dreams. She always dreamed the dreams of being married. She never got married, but she always had the dream of being married. She always had the dream of being wealthy. She always had the dream of doing more and being more, and just not quitting, just not giving up, just pushing herself to the maximum capacity that she could. Now, I can't say that she was very disciplined in completing that with consistency, but I can say that she had the dream. And I just want to present to you today that we can't just have the dream, but we got to have the reality. And the reality is that it takes work to believe. It takes work to believe. It takes work to believe. It takes work, because faith without works is dead. And that literally means that there is death when we believe something, but we don't decide to put the work with it. I looked at my mother's land, and I looked at her house, and I looked at my grandmother's property and all of the land, and how things used to be so alive. Everything just flourishing. The plants, the trees, the ground, the grass, the dirt. The pavement, the way that people would come by every day or every other day, and how people would call, and there was always something to do. It was someone in and out of the house. It was someone in and off the property every single day. It was just so much life. And I thought to myself, who said that there's no more life that can be there on that property? Who sold a lie that when someone passes away and the land is not kept up, nobody pays the taxes on the property, nobody decides that they want to manage cleaning out of the houses and taking care of them by repairing them or remodeling them because they don't have enough money to take care of their own? Why is it that we just give up so easily, but in our first 0 to 60 years, we're full of life? It's because we lose the vision. It's because we forget the dream. It's because that we choose to believe a lie that is really absolutely not true at all. There is life beyond 50 and 60 years old. If God promised us 120, there's no such thing as retirement. It's time for us to wake up and live and allow the land to flourish again. So I say to you today, look again. Make sure that you can see how God is seeing it. God doesn't see us as getting old and gray and just allowing life to happen to us. God says it's time to get up and understand that life is going to have challenges, and it may even have heartbreaks, because it does break my heart every time thinking about my mom not being here with us anymore. But that's a part of the life cycle. He never said it was all going to be great. That was just the lie that people sold us. That was the lie that people told us. But what lie are we believing from who said what? Are we really listening to what God said? Are we really listening to what our people said? Who are we listening to? Because it's getting really ridiculous to believe that someone over a certain age group don't deserve to live life vibrantly and full. So I present to you to take another look at the land, at the property, at the space, wherever you are, with whatever you have, and change it. Decide a new life that you can live by doing the work from 60 to 120. That can really be the best years of your life.